Hey guys, Waterfowler41 here, and in today's video I have an exciting announcement. So I am now sponsored by the folks at Extreme Online Store. So if you haven't heard of them, they create a lot of replacement carbon fiber panels for popular make and model cars and trucks. So Corvettes, Camaros, and Ford Raptors. So for the Raptor, they make replacement carbon fiber panels for the hood, the lower grille trim, fender flares, as well as the fenders. So I'm excited to announce that sponsorship. I'm excited we're gonna start small in this video, but my hope is that I can keep picking up some of those parts and really transform the whole front end of this truck. But with that said, let's talk through the part we're looking at today. This is the lower grille trim, and this is a replacement panel. You can see all the clips. These are in the factory location. So once we remove that factory one, swap out some of the guts from that, we'll be able to pop this guy right back onto the truck. Installation is super simple. We go into the wheel well here. You're gonna see a 7mm bolt here and here. We're gonna undo that on both sides. We're gonna carefully grab the fender flare, pull it off. There's two clips that are gonna release. Once the fender flare on both sides is released, we'll be able to pop this guy off. There's no screws or anything holding this grille trim on. It's just pressure clips once you get access to them behind the fender flare. So let's go ahead, get the two 7mm bolts out of each of the fender flares, and let's pop these guys out, and then I'll show you where to pull on this to make sure that that comes out without breaking anything. All right, so after you undo the two 7mm bolts on the inside of the fender flare, what you're gonna wanna do is actually make sure you have some rubber gloves if you have them. It makes it a lot easier to get grip on the fender flare, and you're gonna wanna pull from the lowest possible corner, not just from one side, but you're gonna wanna give it some nice even pressure, and just give it a nice quick yank, and it'll pop right out. So you can see there's a clip there and a clip there. That's what we just loosened up. It's helpful to have a microfiber available. So you're gonna take that and just shove that in here so that it holds the fender flare off of this panel, because then the next thing we're gonna wanna do is pull on this panel to pop this whole trim piece out. But I gotta get the camera out of the way so we can get access. All right, after you get the fender flare out of the way, then the next thing you wanna do is pull on this bottom panel, and this should just clip out. It just clips right here and here, holding this guy in. Let's see if I can get out. There you go. So you just pull on that clip, and then that's gonna release the clips all down the way. So I'm gonna get on the other side, open that guy up, and then we're just gonna carefully remove this from the front of the truck. And then there should be some guts on the back of here, a plastic panel, that we're gonna have to relocate to the new panel before we go ahead and slap it in. But that's how easy it is to remove this piece. All right, so now we have the factory lower grille trim removed from the truck. You can see I had some vinyls on there for accenting the headlights, but I think the carbon fiber is gonna look a hell of a lot better, especially once we start putting some more of these EOS parts on the truck. Anyway, like I said, you're gonna have to relocate some of the guts from this guy onto the EOS panel before this could then go back on the truck. So let's just carefully flip this over, and you can see inside the body trim, there's this black, I guess, insert. We're gonna need to pull this off here, and what this should do is effectively pop right on the inside of the EOS one. Then from there, we could just go ahead and reinstall everything back on there. This thing removes pretty easily. It's just a bunch of clips on the top and bottom, so we'll get a trim removal tool just so we don't damage anything. But you do need this part to be relocated to the EOS part. So this will actually install on the truck. It will not fit properly without these internal clips, because these are also what's holding on to the front of the truck into these holes right here. All right, so the insert is fully removed from the OEM lower grille trim. Now I did lie, it's not just clips holding it in. If you look on the inside of the trim, you see these little mesh pockets. That's actually a plastic weld. So it's sort of stuck onto the inside of the OEM panel. You can see the remnants of that plastic weld right there. It's very easy to pop those off, but in the kit, you do get some double stick tape. So when I go ahead and reinstall this into the EOS trim, I'm gonna go ahead and throw some tape on this portion of it so that when I tuck it into the EOS trim, it does actually stick pretty well. But all right, before I fully install the insert into the EOS lower grille trim panel piece, just want to show you what I did with that double stick tape. So again, this tape comes in the kit, and what it's there to do is basically allow the inner trim portion here to attach to the inside of the EOS trim. So I just went ahead, I went a little crazy on the front end here, and then I put a little bit extra on the sides so that when they pop into place, everything's held in. So now what I'm going to do is pull off all the backing on the 3M tape, and then just line this guy up with the inside of the EOS trim, and just pop everything together, and we should be in good shape. All right, so now you can see the insert is fully installed on the new carbon fiber panel. Last thing we got to do is just go ahead and throw this guy in the truck. So with most carbon fiber panels, a lot of these are handmade. So there are going to be some minor differences between this panel and the OEM. So be careful when you're going to install. You might need to move things around just a little bit to get everything in the right spot. But I'm going to go ahead and get this guy lined up and installed. Basically, the way you install is start in the middle, get these clips into place, and then basically pull the trim to the outside so that these line up underneath the headlight, because those are going to line up on the corner here. And there's clips all along here, and then there's clips up here. These are the clips that really hold everything down. So I'm gonna get this guy reinstalled, and let's take a look at the final product. All right, so our trim panel is installed. Everything went in very nicely. What I will say is focus on the middle first. Make sure you get this piece centered on the grill. There's little basically lanes for the clips on this to slide into. Once you get those guys centered up, it'll be very easy to line this up, because if you're not centered up, you're going to push this side in and the whole thing's going to pop out on the other side. So center piece first, and then focus on the sides. The sides just clip right in. You can see it's nice and flush, so that fender flare is going to sit nice and flat. Same thing on this side, nice and flush, and that's what you're looking for. So spot on with fitment. Quality looks great. It really does look awesome. I was worried that just doing this piece would look kind of funky in the truck, but it does look awesome. It's nice, dark, kind of adding more effect to the front end of the Raptor. But like I said, this is us starting small. We're going to get bigger here in the very near future with carbon fiber. So step one, step two might be something else around here. Sorry guys, I just realized it's probably not fair to not give you a daylight with everything put back together. So here is the new lower grill trim panel put back on. You can see the seams are perfect here. Everything fits nice and flush, exactly like OEM. I still got to throw my SS5s back on there, but here is the driver's side. Everything fits perfect. Looks great. But with that said, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Hope to be bringing you some more carbon fiber truck parts for the front end of the Raptor here. Take care. Bye.